Okay, so you have signed a reservation agreement, and this is the time, if you haven't already done so, to see your lawyer.
Yeah.
What information is the lawyer going to need from you in order to go ahead with this purchase?
Okay. I need to just say, I think you should see the lawyer before the reservation agreement.
Yeah, ideally, ideally, right at the beginning.
Yeah, because why I'm saying this to you, our system, the legal condition of the property might be a little bit different to the other countries. I mean, we have different type of title deeds, we have different licenses. So when you make a decision of a property, then you should just go to a lawyer, and the lawyer will be obtaining the copy of the title deed from the estate agent or from the owner, and then we would expect a decent lawyer to make some searches before you sign up with any contract.
Yes, but you'll quite often come under pressure from the agent to sign a reservation agreement quickly.
Yeah,
because
it may happen.
You know, if you don't sign the reservation agreement, I'm showing it to somebody else this afternoon, and they could buy it.
Yeah, they will make some pressure.
In an ideal world, you see the lawyer right at the beginning as part of your initial preparation.
Yeah.
But that may or may not be realistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But certainly, if you've signed a reservation agreement, then you must see the lawyer.
You must see the
otherwise,
lawyer.
It's going to go very badly wrong.
Yeah.
So, the information that you as the lawyer need to deal with this is what?
We just need the copy of the title deed or the details of the property. I mean, when I say the details, it has to be like official details. Yeah.
And if a client came to you with a reservation contract, telling you who the estate agent is, you would be able to contact the agent and
Correct.
get those details from the agent.
Correct, yeah. We will complete the legal searches in the first place, which I mean, we are attending to the land registry, checking the official records, seeing whether the property is free of any charges or burdens, or whether the property has the proper title deed for the use of the client. And also we are making a visit to the council because we also need to check the licenses, like a building license or habitation license. So the planning will be also checked by us.
So there's a whole load of checks that you're going to do about the property, and of course we should have said that you'll also need details of the clients. You'll need proof of their identity to comply with all sorts of
this is we usually ask for our own records. And,
so a copy of their passport normally is what you'll need, plus proof of address.
Proof of address, proof of ID, and the signed confirmation of instructions.
Yes. Okay, so you're instructed, you carry out all of these checks, and of course sometimes you'll find there's a problem with the property. Most cases are fine, but sometimes there's a problem. Maybe there is a dispute about the property, maybe there is no title or bad title or defective title, maybe there is a debt registered against the property, whatever it might be. So sometimes you'll have to say to the clients, look, this probably isn't a great property to buy.
Yeah.
And there's lots of other perfectly legal properties, so maybe you should go and find another one.
Correct.
And if you do say that to the clients, it's important that they listen, isn't it? Because unfortunately, by this time, many of them will have fallen in love with the property and they'll say, well, can you fix it? Can you fix it?
Yeah.
And maybe you can fix it, but it could cost quite a lot of money.
Actually, when we see the problem, obviously we will also know what the outcome is or how it will be fixed. So we will gather all the information for the client and present to them. Of course, if they're happy to do that, we can't really ask them to just avoid, but we will give our advice. If they're still insistent, we can check whether we can sort out that problem or not.
Okay, so let's imagine you've now carried out the checks and everything is fine.
Okay.
Or you find a small problem and it's fixed. What's the next stage?
We will be either reporting this to the client if they are not in a hurry, because sometimes they will be really signing the property transaction next day, so we can have a meeting or a reporting to them. And the property is legally safe to go ahead. Then we are arranging the transaction. I mean, the transfer of the title deed to our client's name.
Now, two questions at this point. First of all, is it normal to have a survey carried out on the property as part of this investigation?
It is not common to have private surveys in Turkey. If you're using a mortgage, taking a mortgage for financing, your bank will be carrying their own survey before lend the money to you. But what I would say is, because if you're coming from, especially from the Europe or America, you would expect the property in some certain quality, and the quality might be differing from your hometown, home country. So I think the clients who are purchasing a property for their own use should carry a survey. There are two importance. One is the quality, checking the quality. Second thing is you should know the property that you are buying is what the property that you see you saw. So because sometimes there might be slight problems.
Yes, and so let's just sort of deconstruct that a bit. And incidentally, for the benefit of our American viewers, we should say that when we talk about survey, we're talking about inspections here of the property. So the inspector, the surveyor, is going to go around and he's going to look at the quality and whether the property is in good condition. He's going to look at whether it is structurally good, in other words, whether the foundations are good and whether there are cracks in the wall and so on, and the sewerage system is working. But he's also going to identify the size and the location of the property.
And also looking whether the property is built according to the plans and licenses or not. That's the most important part.
And checking that if the building license says that you can construct 200 square metres, then 200 square metres have been constructed and not 300 or 400 square metres.
Yeah.
So this is quite an important service, and in your opinion, well worth doing.
I think, you should definitely do that. Either you're non-national Turkish, because nowadays we are facing a lot of problem about the with the councils. Because when the building...
So with the council?
With the council,
yeah.
the municipalities, the planning department. Because imagine that you are purchasing a property which had a planning and building license back in like 10, 20 years back. And afterwards they obtain the habitation license, which is very necessary for a safe property. But after the habitation license, the owners might have done some further construction. And you will never find out this without a survey.
Yes.
Because when we, as a lawyer, look at the paperwork, we will say, okay, there's a building license in place, habitation license in place, the title deed is the full ownership. So we will say, okay, legally safe. But as we will not know the physical conditions,
because it's not part of the lawyer's job to go and look at the property.
Because we can't measure. We are not technicals.
Yeah.
So when the technical person made the survey, they may found out after the habitation license there might be some illegal constructions, and
which can result in a demolition order for the property.
Yes, and not only the demolishing. Actually, there are more than one consequences. The first one, the municipality, when they will come. If there's a illegal construction, they will fine you. You need to pay an administrative fee, which is calculated on the basis of the square meter. They will make a decision. They will just give you 30 days to make it legal. If you don't, then they are going to make a decision of demolishment, and you will be paying all the demolishment fees. And also, they will make a complaint against you at the prosecution office because the building a construction without a license or against the license is a crime.
And even if it wasn't you that built it, it was
matter.
the previous owner, you will still have at least some of those responsibilities.
What will happen actually, because the municipality has to complain about the current owner,
yes.
Then you have to go to the prosecutor office and prove that you haven't
yes.
done those works.
So this is not some, and you'd still be responsible for the cost of the demolition and everything else.
So you have to recover it from the previous owner or who done it, but it is going to be quite like a hassle.
So basically the message here is, although estate agents may say to you, survey isn't necessary, there are very good reasons for having one done, and the cost of the survey is tiny compared to the savings that you can make.
Yeah, and the survey cost, that's a really good point, because when you call survey, people are really expecting to have a big invoices, but it is not that expensive in Turkey.
What would it cost on a typical, so to survey a small house, what would it cost?
$200, $300 maximum.
Yes, so and it's a small fee for a big service.
Yeah.
It may not be exactly the same survey that you might be expecting back home. It may not give the detail of certain things that you might expect, but it's still a very useful thing to have.
It is. Yes, I think you should just expect what you can get, because we don't have as-built projects of the most of the developments, almost all of them. So you don't see anything about the cabling in that report. Yes. Or any like a infrastructural like a checks, but you will at least see your properties at the correct location that you sold the property at, and you have the legal building.
Yes. And you've mentioned illegal construction. It might just be worth saying that these are some things you can look out for when you go and view properties, because very often Turkish developers make it easy to do illegal construction. They will know that they've only got a license for 125 square metres, but they'll put the property on stilts so that you can put another 125 square metres underneath it, for example.
Yeah, or the title deed might be just for a, we call it like a depot,
yes.
like a for
the cellar.
But you will be just getting it as a proper house, and
yes.
in the future, if there is a complaint,
yes.
you cannot use it for your purpose.
So if you go to see a house and all of the other houses in the area are just one story on stilts, then and yours has got things built under it, that's probably going to be an illegal construction.
Yeah. So it needs a proper like a due diligence.
Okay. Anyway, moving on from that.
Okay.
So survey, good idea, not very expensive.